Hello fellow modelers and styling fanatics, welcome back to my channel. I hope that everyone is doing fine and enjoys the hobby. Your favorite concrete banker has returned, once again, for another one of its notorious episodes. None other than split personalities and parallel universes George will be your host again. In today's update, we have managed to make the Elefant one whole piece. Finally, it is starting to have similarities with the World War II era tank destroyer. You guys know the drill already. Grab a seat, make yourselves comfortable, and of course crack the mandatory cold one. Let's see what past George did. Hi guys, welcome back to part 4. And as I told you, we're gonna continue our work on the upper superstructure of our tank destroyer. So I won't bore you much and I'm gonna start straight away. Now, what we miss some parts from the top, and when I say we miss some parts from the top, I mean that we haven't installed them in our previous updates. Those parts are the hatches that go over here and here, and these support handles that go here. I want to say a few stuff about the hatches first. You have the option to position them open or closed. If you position them open, you need to add some vision blocks here. Now, because I have positioned everything closed, I'm gonna do the same for them as well. But you need to know that you have the option to do that. Anyway, without further ado, let's start with those hatches, because I talked about them first. There's one here. And if I don't mess things up, one in the opposite place. My camera today is extra shaky, guys, I don't know why, sorry. And we've got these two that go over here, one on each side. And that's all the parts that you need to install on top of the superstructure, if I'm not mistaken. Now, next up, we're gonna move over here at the rear of the superstructure. Let me clean the parts and I'm gonna be back in about 5 minutes, mere seconds for you. Now, because there is a lot of going on over here at the rear, I choose to break it in 2 steps. I'm gonna start with the small and fiddly parts, of course, and then we're gonna work ourselves on the hatch. Now let's start with the fiddly parts. As I told you, we have this triangular piece that goes over there where I applied my glue. Of course, there is a square. Like this. We've got this round object that has a knob in the back and goes over here. And of course it's slipped through. Like this. And now we have those two hooks. Apart the smaller parts, leave them aside. We have those two hooks. Be careful, each one is for its respective side. They have some nice weld detail all around them, and they go one on each side, one over here and one on the other side. First one is over here. Like this. And the other one on the exact opposite side, as I told you. And finally we have those two tiny pieces. These are probably hangers, you know, for spare tracks or stuff like that, and they go over here in the back. I don't know how much my camera can catch, but there is a place for them over here. So now we're gonna fight. I'm probably thinking that we're gonna fight with them. Oh, right from the get-go. And there we have it. Now I'm gonna let these parts dry, do some fine tuning over here because they are a bit crooked, and we're gonna be back for the rear hats. Give me a moment, guys. Hats time. Now this is our bigger hats of this vehicle. I think that the guys used it for loading cells inside the superstructure, but I definitely know that it has these small holes so they can throw out spent cells when they were in the battlefield. Now, one other cool feature that Dragon gives you is that you can pose these small hats open. So you can pose it open and have some spare spent cells in the rear, like they were firing. So let's start with its assembly. It's simple as pie. For 4 parts only. The smaller part is the grab handle, this hook over here, not the grab handle. And this is the part that I am going to attach first because I don't want to lose it, but I want to knock it over. Now this is the smaller hats. I'm gonna turn it around, and this is the interior detail of the smaller hats. In the case that you wanted to pose it open, there is some detail there. And of course I messed everything up because I can. And now we're gonna throw it over there. And I'm going to tell you a little secret, guys. The moment I've seen these hats, I regretted my choice to pose everything closed. I should pose stuff open and make a little diorama for it. But it is too late now. I should be prepared. Anyway, it is what it is. It is not the last elephant that I am going to build, definitely. There is another elephant kit from Dragon. Brett G is building it, so you can take a look also at his build. It is the same with this one, but with a few more extra parts out of the box. Anyway, here it is. The rear loading huts, and that's everything for the superstructure assembly wise. Now I will need to apply the Zimmerit. I'm gonna do that off camera, of course, and I'm gonna be back. Now that our superstructure is ready and coated with Zimmerit, let's move on to the engine deck. I think that probably it is the engine deck, because from my imagination and knowledge, the engine shouldn't fit anywhere else. Anyway, this is the first part that consists the engine deck. In step 18, I have located the mistake on the instructions. It's a bit typical for Dragon. Anyway, here is the mistake. It tells you A20 here and A19 over here, but it is the exact opposite. So A20 over here and A19 over here. And I have located this mistake due to the image of these parts. You cannot possibly fit A19 here because of this indentation. I hope that you get what I mean. Anyway, you're gonna see. So let's start. Let's fit, of course, the smaller parts first, because it is the parts that I am afraid that I'm gonna lose. So I will start with those. There is a plug that goes to this hole. And same on the other side. Now we have this big part over here that needs to go on top of those engine slats, engine vents I should say, but you get what I say. And we have these three pieces which go like this. One over this one on in the middle. And this one on the other edge. Let me secure them in place with some glue. Gently press fit, and here we have it. Step 18 of the instructions is ready, and the initial look of our engine deck is this one. Now I'm gonna prepare the parts for step 19, and I'm gonna be back as always, of course. So steps for part 19 are ready, and this should complete the engine deck. It is everything that you see in front of you. As always, I'm gonna start with the small infinity parts, so I won't lose them. We have the antenna, that's the smaller part. Then we have this ring that goes around the antenna. Like this. And then we have the additional vents, but in the middle one has these two grab handles. Which I'm gonna attempt to attach, but as you can see, it would cause me a little trouble. And it is ready to go. So the vent part with this small gap over here, the small gap over here should look front, at the front of the vehicle, so it goes like this. So one in the middle, one over here, and the other one over there. This is how they're supposed to go. And now we have those three over here at the back. Which go accordingly. Two small ones on the sides and the bigger one in the middle. And this is the end for step 19. Now we are going to move along into step 20. Step 20 is attaching this one and the upper superstructure on the rest of the hull. Let's move this aside. Here is the superstructure. I have coated it with Zimmerit. And here is how it looks. Luckily I was able to make it all in one go. it took me quite a while, but results are satisfying. So for the next step, we're gonna attach these two onto the upper hole. So now I'm gonna pause the video, let the glue dry onto the engine deck, and I'm gonna be back for the attachments of these parts. Let's make it in one piece now, finally. So first thing you're gonna need to do is to grab your lower hole and your engine deck. It should go over here like this. Not like this. Like this. I know that it has a nasty gap over here, but we are going to take care of it near the end, like the side fenders over here. So as I said, you place your engine deck over here accordingly. Let me secure it in place, and after you have done that, you have to be careful to keep in mind these gaps over here between those things that look like hinges. So for every hinge there is a corresponding part onto your superstructure. For this one is this one, and goes like this. So you grab your superstructure and you place it like this, with the hinge lining it up, and you should have something looking like it. Okay, this thing needs some time to cure, and this is it. Up to half step 20 there are some parts needed to be added to finish this step, but this is our final act for this update. So if you follow along the build, you should have something that looks like that. Anyway, this is as far as I'm willing to go for this update. As I said, I wanted to make another quick one. Hope you guys enjoyed. Past George is out. And with all that said and done, we have made it to the end of this episode. On our next episode, we will probably finish with the main assembly of our tank destroyer. I hope you guys found this video helpful and interesting, and of course stick along for the next one. Before I go, I wanna thank each and every one of you guys that watched this video. A special thank you to my old and new subscribers. You guys are the best, and you are the reason I keep doing these videos. For the newcomers out there, welcome guys. I hope that you like what I do. If so, you all know what to do. Leave a like, comment with your thoughts and opinions, share the video if you believe it is deserved to be shared, or even consider subscribing for more builds to come your way. Until the next time, fellow modelers and friends, take care and model on. It was that Mofo Demon, signing out.